Hello, everyone. This is Manny,
And I'm RJ.
and today, Really Dicey is reviewing Pathfinder 2nd Edition's Lost Omens, The Mwangi Expanse by Paizo Publishing. For those of you new to Pathfinder, the Mwangi Expanse is part of the world of Golarion. I do want to make clear that you do not need the other Lost Omens setting source books to play this.
This book is over 300 pages, and it's one of the most enjoyable source books that I've read. It's definitely inspired by African mythology and culture, and it's used marvelously.
There are two introductory chapters in this book, Reclaiming the Expanse and History, both of them 8 pages long. Reclaiming the Expanse is an important chapter that emphasizes gaming perspective. It states clearly that game masters shouldn't think of the Mwangi Expanse as an exotic or savage location, but instead exciting and wondrous. It is not written from an outsider's perspective. Instead, it's written as if you're a part of this world. The history section will interest those who want to see the development of the Mwangi Expanse in different eras of Golarion's history.
Even though history sections tend to be filled with a lot of proper nouns, this one is pretty fun to read. It's filled with dramatic and world-shaking events that are pretty important for understanding the present state of the cities and people in the Mwangi Expanse. There's also a timeline that summarizes the history if you want to just get a general idea of the history, but the timeline is better as a reference and to provide context for the other events.
This book has 4 main sections: an ancestry section called the People of Mwangi. The section Geography deals with settings and important cities. Religion deals with the Mwangi gods, and a Bestiary section. There are 13 non-human ancestries in this book, with an additional section of where ancestries from other source books fit into this setting. 4 of the 13 are rare ancestries, and there are 2 others that are uncommon. There are around 100 pages of information given to this section. There are a lot of wonderful options for players. There are 3 types of black elves, 2 types of black dwarves, all of them with their own culture, faith, and style, and very unique takes on halflings, gnolls, and orcs.
I'm happy to see Gripply ancestry, which are frog-like beings. The 4 Gripply heritages are great. There's Sticky Toe for climbing, Windweb, which slows your falls from any distance, Poison Hide, which gives your skin toxicity, and Snap Tongue, with which you can, among other things, deliver touch range spells with your tongue. Personally, though, I gravitate towards human ancestries, and there are 11 new human ancestries in this book, and it conveys the diversity of human cultures across the regions of the Mwangi Expanse.
There are also ancestries that I've never seen before in any other game system, like the Anadi, who are human-sized spiders that can transform to a human form and back. There are also strange constructs like the Konrasu. There's the Shisk, who appear humanoid except lack of hair and bony quills all over their body. The Goloma, which I'm not sure how to describe to you, so I'll quote the book. Golomas are humanoids with rough skin that range in color from warm brown to ebony. Their fingers and feet are coated with a thin layer of chitin. The Goloma's face is an oblong wedge made of smooth chitin, almost resembling a wooden mask. Protruding from this face are 8 gelatinous, shining eyes. There are 12 new gods in this book, with an additional section of where other gods in other source books fit in this setting. Of the new gods, there are 5 good gods, 2 evil gods, and 5 neutral gods. I'll just highlight 3 I like the best. Calicut is a chaotic neutral boogeyman who believes that fear keeps you safe, so he spreads fear to as many as he can. The gorilla demon Angazan only believes in spreading brutal violence, and Walkena, an undead deity who believes in peace through tyranny.
Now, for each of these gods, you'll have all of the stats compatible with the mechanics found in the Gods and Magic supplement, such as Divine Ability, Favored Weapon, and Alternate Domains. I'm drawn to Grandmother Spider, the goddess of illusion, storytelling, family, and weaving, and also to Luhar, the goddess of dusk, sleep, and the final sleep, death.
This geography section is the largest part of the book, with a bit over 140 pages dedicated to different settings. Not only does it dedicate 10 sections to the Mwangi Expanse in good detail, but it highlights 9 major cities. If the creative descriptions of each area and city isn't enough to amaze you, game masters will be impressed at the amount of adventure seeds available. One location and city can contain whole campaigns with the right game master.
Yeah, and to avoid this video being 3 hours long, we're going to talk quickly about the favorite parts of each major city.
Blood Cove is definitely a city most game masters will probably use as a setting in the Mwangi Expanse, not just because it's a haven for pirates, but because its ability to attract treasure hunters from all around Golarion. It is a great way for characters from different settings to appear in the Mwangi Expanse.
Jaha is an old ruined city that was recently rediscovered and is now being rebuilt and restored by a small population. What they've discovered so far is that the city was once very connected to the stars, to astronomy, to astrology, and the arcane. There's bioluminescent flora that give the night an eternal twilight, and most of the city is awake and moving around at night, sleeping during the day because sleep is disturbed and uneasy at night. And beneath the city, there are many subterranean networks and warrens filled with ancient magical mysteries that are being rediscovered every night.
Deep in the jungle, there is a magically walled city called Kibwe, a place of trade so immersive you can get lost. Strange statues called Watchers, which were placed there before Kibwe was even named, just adds to the mystery. The city just escaped a dilemma that saw its citizens transforming into oozes. If you're looking for a published adventure to help introduce your players to the Mwangi Expanse, the Pathfinder adventure path called The Slithering uses Kibwe as the setting.
Mzali is a city governed by an undead, mummified child sun god named Walkena, who rules the city as a cruel authoritarian to maintain order. Travel is restricted, there are strict curfews and labor rules, neighbors are encouraged to be informers against each other, and all non-Mwangi are banned from entering the city. Of course, there are people opposed to this, and insurgent groups work in the shadows to overthrow the god. The city also extends deep underground into Necropolis with thousands of hidden shrines.
Forget Hogwarts. If you're looking for a more exciting place to have a School of Magic adventure for your players, Nantambu is the city for you. Blood Cove may bring treasure hunters from all over the world, but those seeking a greater knowledge of magic will come here. Outside of Nantambu, there are a lot of supernatural mysteries, but if you're looking for a setting where every aspect of life is enhanced by magic, you won't be disappointed. Another Pathfinder adventure path, called The Strength of Thousands, coming out later this summer, will take place here.
Osibu is a secret city deep in the wild jungle and protected by seemingly natural forces that are determined to keep it hidden. But it's a golden paradise inside of garden terraces with the beautiful colors and scents of wondrous flora, and it's ruled by an incredibly ancient arboreal. The inhabitants of Osibu go to extreme lengths to keep it secret. That's all I'll say about that. And at the city's center lies a mysterious well of wafting ether, the Nemesis Well, which seems to be awakening and causes sleepless, haunted nights to those living in Osibu.
Sengo is the opposite of Blood Cove. Where Blood Cove excels in piracy and corruption, Sengo has made privateering a business, and it is a protective naval force for the Mwangi Expanse. It is one of the more heavily political settings in the book, where merchant families have power and law and pride are mixed into the culture of the city.
Usaro is the ruthless city of the guerrilla kings, where a vacuum of power has plunged the city into bloody chaos. In the absence of a strong ruler, daily violence and cruel anarchy are terrorizing its residents. And the regular human sacrifices feed a river of blood that flows out from Usaro, providing a sickly habitat for more terrible beings.
Vidrian is now free from the shackles of colonialism and is looking to be recognized as an independent entity to the world. It is a great setting for players looking to make a name for themselves in a time of uncertainty and rebuilding while dealing with the threats like their former Chilaxian oppressors and pirates looking to take advantage of the chaos. Does this interest you? Then set sail for the Vidric city of Andusis.
Now, those are the cities. As Manny mentioned, there are also 10 regions of interest, including the Bandu Hills, the Barrier Wall, the Kava Lands, and the Screaming Jungle, and others. While we don't have time to cover them all, each is detailed in a few pages describing the geography, the inhabitants, the dangers and opportunities for conflict and adventure.
The Bestiary section is about 20 pages. The section begins with a list of creatures from other source books that can be found in the Mwangi Expanse. There are 16 new monsters, with some having variants. There are some that are creepy, like the Aigamuksa, a creature that first appears to be a human walking upside down, but their eyes are on the soles of their feet, and the Gutslang, an eerie elephant serpent hybrid monster.
In addition, there's a list of 125 creatures that are found in the Mwangi Expanse, but that are not found in this book. They're in one of the 3 Bestiary supplement books, and the book and the page where they're from is listed for each one of those. But from this book, I like the Mamlambo river predator that fascinates and lures its prey with its bioluminescent skin, and has an attack called Face Eater.
In conclusion, the Mwangi Expanse is probably one of my favorite RPG setting books I've read, period. It has everything I want from a setting source book, and more. Tons of places to explore, terrifying monsters, opportunities for players to find lost magics and treasures, and memorable NPCs. There are maps. Some I feel might be too small for half a page of space, and I hope they come out with an atlas for this region.
Yeah, I'd like to give special mention to the artwork in this book. A lot of the art has cranked the color variety up to 11, and it's often eye-dazzling. The character art is excellent, and the landscapes are evocative and moody. The setting itself has a great variety, and it's fertile ground for many adventure seeds. But you can easily run an entire campaign centered on just 1 or 2 of these cities. To be clear, there aren't any specific dungeons mapped out in detail in this book, but there are hooks for stories of exploration, discovery, war, subversion, mystery, magic, and on and on. There are a lot of options in this book, and I think it's a great value. But I think you'll get the most out of this book if you pair it with the Bestiary supplements.
There are not a lot of RPG source books out there that are inspired by African history, culture, and mythology, and even fewer that try and miss the mark entirely. But this book is well written, inspiring, and full of adventure seeds. It is a must-have for your collection, whether you play D&D or any edition of Pathfinder. I hope you have enjoyed our review. Let us know if you have the book, what you think of it in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and support us, and have a good day.